Yo, Jesse Bowman with the Bowman Land Clearing. What's happening? So we're back at this job over here. Look at the grass. I mean, it's been maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Now the grass is growing, looking sweet. So I had Cat work on this thing. I'm not sure if you can hear me as I get closer. Yeah, that's a problem. So I just got Cat on the phone, or I messaged him with a picture of what that's doing. So I'm thinking the pickup tube from all the junk that I've been picking up has finally caught up to it. So, but we're gonna start on this one. I got the tripod. I'm ordered some stuff for this one to fix the mount problem. So the thing that you mount to something like the magnet, or I can take it off and put it on the tripod. So I'll have it ordered. So we're gonna go ahead and push this lower side, and just we're still keeping this barrier so that way, because you can see this junk. So we're just gonna push down that way. They own like 5 or 6 acres right here. So, but we're gonna go ahead and go through that, and then there's bigger pines back there, so it'll kind of like look something like this, so it won't be wide open. So I'm gonna go take pictures. That's the best thing to do, is take pictures before you do anything at all. That way you don't forget, because I have done that, and then the job, you know, was amazing looking, but I only had afters. So, but you can see this bigger material looking pretty good. And this is the pasture that they had. So, but you can kind of see the lower, but this is the lower shelf. And then I'm gonna work my way that way, and then do sections at a time. So let's get at it. right, so I hit pretty much this whole top side. I mean, I left a pretty good shelf up here. That way I can keep it nice and clean all the way down. So this is pretty much where I left off, and that's how much I cleaned up. This top side I didn't get that much, but I you know, I cleaned a pretty good bit. So pretty much maybe less than 30 minutes I hit all this right here, which is pretty thin, but like I've stated millions of times, I don't have the newest and latest stuff. But I also want to show, you can always tell when your mulching knives are dull. They'll leave the little stobs, even though you drop that thing as far as you can. They also leave the little stobs, which I haven't come at. If you can go at different angles, it'll kind of bust it up, but it don't chew this kind of stuff. It don't grab it. So that's how you know when your knives are getting low. But this is the most I've ever got. I've probably got 80 hours in this thing, and which I didn't sharpen them because I had to go to Walter's, see how that right there, and I had to do some dirt work for him at his place, so I didn't get time to sharpen them. But this is what we got, and we'll just keep pushing a little bit. But this side's the thickest, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit all this, and then as time goes, I'd like to be way out that way. So let's get it. This is what I got done. I had a lot of freaking privet and some of the pines fall over. It was all tangled up in there, falling on the machines while they kept getting in and out. And then there's the fence line right there. So I had to kind of go around here and then ended up over here and over here. So, but I took down a bunch of pines so that way I can get in certain places. They said that they like this kind of stuff, so that way when they put cows on it, they would have somewhere to hang out, you know, because it's pretty open that way. But this is probably where they'll sit. So then I'll have to cut some trees over that way. There's a bunch of Bradford pears that I'm gonna try to trim up real high, like that one right there. I'm gonna try to trim up. And then I got some of that fence line cleaned up, so that way when I start mulching, I got a pattern that I try to stay in. That way I'm not zigzagging and all over the place. So we're gonna keep going. And then the back side of their property over here too, they own the other side, but this is where the fence was. And there's like a old pond, so I'm trying to do my best to get close to the fence, because we're going to try to fix everything and put cattle in here. They own this too. They own that other side over there. The only thing they don't own is from that post that way on the other side, all that over there on the other side. So she wants me to come over here and clean this fence, so that way that I can get in there and make it easier and cleaner for them to come in and just fix the fence and make a new fence. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get back at it cleaning on this side. All right, so I just went ahead and finished everything up. I was having to go around trees, so I get carried away sometimes. So especially around trees and stuff like that, because you got to be careful. So my knives are getting a little dull. This is the bigger pieces, so I mean it's still good stuff, but I'm gonna come back and cut that down a little bit and cut this stuff so that way I can get in there and clean it up, stuff like that. Got a piece of tin from where the storm several years ago, so I'm gonna just try to clean this up and then get over there and see if I can't chop some of that stuff over there, because I'm fixing to go on the other side and just, this is what they're wanting, the fence line, so that way they can add stuff for cows. But try to get that done, get the chainsaw out and see what I can do. This is from when you mulch a pine. So all that stuff, which my chains are missing, I do need to fix it. But even when I had chains, it's still done all this. That's the reason why I don't do a tree like that. Go, start at the top and go all the way down. It'll just take too long. But I just want to show you why I don't do that. All right, so didn't record much of this one because there's a lot of getting out, getting in, getting out, getting in, and there's a lot of work, especially by yourself. I ended up getting a Bradford pear end in my freaking finger. This thing's hurt. All right, so they're losing their lease for their cows, and I come off this corner. I tried to go that way, but there's so many rocks, which I'll show you in a second. But they've got new fence posts that they're going to come off that fence, come down that way, so that way it's kind of like a circle. I think they're going to go up that way, top side. So got as close as I could. I found some old barbed wire. It's all wrapped up in there, so I threw that thing right there so I wouldn't hit it. So try to get as close as I could without ripping it out. So there's a lot of rock right here. So they're going to try to cut this off with those two up there. I tried to come in here, but I didn't have enough getting in there and turn around, so they're just going to have to cut it and throw it out of the way. Got a few pieces I'm going to come over here and mulch, but I'll show you that top side. Here's the top side right here. So it's got a lot of dips, but you can see all the trash in there ended up being under all that brush, and it was all faded till I smacked it. So here's all the rocks right down in here. If I had my excavator, I could pull all this stuff, 10, 15, 20 feet. But this lower side was pretty thick, so it looked like this. Now it's like that. So I kind of cleaned up best I could, but there's so much rock right in here, and it looked like a burn pit somewhere in here. Yep, right there. Old piece of metal, get it out of the way. And then I did some stuff over there, but it was just to the fence line. So, and then there's some Bradford pears. I just come over here and smacked them because there was about 15 of them growing right there, so I went ahead and knocked them out. There's that. Forgot my pole saw, but try to get in there the best I can. And then there's the other side, kind of went next to the fence here and there, so that way if it's sticking up pretty far, I went ahead and hit it. So fixing to go ahead and get my truck turned around. Well, you can see it over there, but I gotta get turned around, loaded up, and get the machine cleaned off, fueled up. We're fixing to go do a driveway repair that the customer had us come out there and price it, and then got Walter to dump the material off. He said he couldn't afford me, and went ahead and done it himself. Then in that time, I think it rained, or he done something, and now I'm having to go back and fix the problem. So it's going to take me 3 or 4 hours, hopefully in the time frame, because it's almost 4. Yeah, right at 4. So we have roughly 3 hours. Once I get there, it's probably about 20-minute ride, 25, 30-ish. So I told him I'm gonna hurry up and get there and start doing what I need to do. But I'll show you that top side for the finish. This is the end result over here. The fence line comes up here, but the property line is right over there, which I kind of push a little bit further, so that way if they want to put a fence, you know, 5-10 feet or however they need it, that they'll have plenty of clean area. So this is the end, so you can kind of see about right up in here is what I did. Pushed that whole corner, pushed all that, and then I did all that down there, and then came up on this other corner down here, so that way if they want to do cross fences or something like that, they can. But I tried to get as close as I could without eating the fence up, but also without spending a lot of time, because I can get all that out, make it look clean, but if I had more time. But they also wanted this as a barrier, because I mean, if you got this thing full of stuff, I mean, the cows ain't gonna know that it's, even if it was down. So, but kind of helps hold the fence up, but also keeps the cows in. But I limbed up a bunch of it. But that is it on this one, and then fixing to load up and head to the driveway job. So hopefully I can get it done in time without the customer making me lose it. So he's been calling me all week to get it done. I needed to get up there to do it, but he didn't let me know until literally last minute, wanted me to do it last minute or right then and there. So I can't just do that kind of stuff, but I do whatever I can to help customers, but don't expect me to do it last minute. I can't, just because I can't. But all right, let's get it loaded up and then we'll head over and do the driveway. This is the job I was telling you about. The customer decided to do it himself. I mean, I can understand, but we also, Walter had this job, and then Walter messed his dump truck up. So it comes in, it comes out, comes in. I think all the owner did was just push. That's all he did, was able to, with a tractor. So this is probably 8 to 10 foot tall, and then this side's 3 to 4, and it's all blowed out. So and all that, it bottlenecks down there, and so I'm gonna take this excess, throw it down there and pack it. So it's packed now, but we're supposed to have rain, so it's just, I told him, I mean, we may have enough time for it to settle, but see if I can get a better, I mean, that is a drop off. So if this skid steer fell off the edge, I'd roll probably about 3 or 4 times, just because this is going slightly downhill. So he's got the pond, we got this. So I'm gonna take all them big rocks, throw them somewhere else, and I'm gonna make it to where it'll drain, but also use that excess over here to throw down in there. So I'll show you shortly how I got it. So I had to come in and re-scrape it just to see if I can get it to slope right, because I mean, it's literally like this right here. So I'm gonna try my best. All right, so I'm gonna take out a little bit more, but I'm doing this so that way I'm not taking out too much, because I don't want to chop it like that, because all that stuff will fall off. So I'm trying to pack the edges too, but it's high, then dips right there with those 2 rocks, and it picks right back up right in here, and it's just a nightmare. So I'm trying to do this, but kind of pack it too. So I'm gonna try to get some of these big old rocks out of the way. I gotta scrape that a little bit more, and then it's not a bad bottleneck down that way, but I'm trying to get in there without taking out too much of this, because I can take out too much, and then when a car comes over, it messes it up. So I'm trying to take out enough, but I'm gonna come in here and just rake this, so at least if I can get a half a bucket or a full bucket off of these little crumbs, that way I'll have enough. So that's what we got on this so far. All right, so now I'm trying to apron it out a little bit. I don't have enough material. I mean, I can go in and take all that shelf off, or that slope, but if I do, then it's just gonna unpack it. So I can't do too much. So I'm gonna come in there and pack it best I can to kind of widen it out, but this is pretty wide. I mean, it was not even half of that. So I'm gonna come in here and pack all this and try to get a little bit more out of this side, and then I'm gonna try to shape it up. So this is about the best I can do. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean these big rocks. I'm gonna try to throw them right there, so that way they'll, when I throw dirt, it'll sit on top of it. So, and you can see that right there is what I'm talking about. Driving on it and it's falling off because it's not packed. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get these big chunks out, throw them to the side, so that way they'll have a somewhere to set, and then just come in here and just pack it down. So got me a little scoop and then get these rocks out here. I pushed them out of the way. So, and then what I got left is I'm gonna try to move that dirt on somewhere else. And then I made him a little spot for church, so that way he can get some for his tractor, with his tractor, so he can fix his driveway. So, but I'll re-slope that over there a little bit. They got some dirt right here, so there's a big old hole. They told me to get rid of the dirt, so I'm trying to get in here and pack it down, because this is topsoil, so it's looking pretty clean. Making it level and smooth. That way I can fill in the holes here. I'll show you what I got over here. You kind of see it's a little high, that right there, so I have to put some right in here and then right in here. This dirt right here for their culvert, and then I got some of that so he can use for his driveway. I told him to use the big chert rocks for like a rip wrap around the culvert so it don't wash away, but I'm gonna try to get this best I can, but I don't want to mound it up somewhere else. So I'll try to see if I can't clean it up. Man, it has been a rough year, start of the year, and I did that driveway last night. I cut the machine off to talk to the customer, and believe it or not, the machine messed up where it wouldn't crank. So I called Cat and he told me what to do, or my cat tech, and it was about 8:30 when I got loaded up. I got done right before dark, so I still had plenty of daylight, so it took me forever to get that thing started, loaded up. And then left my back glass, my slide glass, and then my side ones cracked on the side, but left them because it was warmish. It wasn't cold, but it wasn't warm, so it was just enough where it's sticky in the truck. And I wake up to it raining in the morning. Those are mud terrains, and that's like an inch deep. Well, I mean, this is topsoil, that's the reason why it gets nasty like that. But that, I mean, it's been dry. Well, I say dry, but it's not been wet and raining. So that's how much freaking water come out when I drove over the track. Struggles. So glad to get that mulching job done, and the driveway, got those two small jobs knocked out. I was going to get the excavator. I still hadn't got the back glass because the guy I was supposed to have do it said his wife was having surgery for something, and he'd let me know when he'd start on Friday afternoon or Saturday. So it's Wednesday, so I guess I'll have to call him, get it going. But this ends the video. Not sure where I ended it last few clips, but anywho, we got some jobs. I'm fixing to go give an estimate, or a couple estimates, and then we're going to go look at a different truck setup. So I guess we'll see how that goes. So, but this 250 is about to go bye-bye to my buddy Grant for about a month, see how it goes, and then we're going to start our own trucking company. So well, I think we're already starting on that now. But anyway, so if you liked it, subscribe. You know, getting better clips, and I ordered stuff to fix this GoPro so that way I can have remote on and off. That way, because I have to stop the machine to get out and start it, and then I have to charge it back up, so that way I can have a charger already clipped to it. So things are getting a little better, slowly, very, very slowly, but we'll get it. So Like and subscribe. See you on the next one.